What strategies succeed in a downturn? What opportunities and threats are on the horizon? And what is the outlook for global markets? We turn to experts from the Boston Consulting Group and the Wharton School for answers.
Multinational companies need to adapt their strategies because of the global downturn. That means focusing on your costs, and in many ways that may mean more production in the lower cost countries. At the same time, multinational companies still need growth opportunities. And with domestic markets shrinking at 6, 7, some of them 20%, they lose those opportunities to be able to grow. However, demand in countries like China and India are still growing. In the developed economies, we see growth rates going from plus 3% to negative numbers. In the rapidly developing economies, we may see growth rates going from 12% to 6%. Now, there's a big difference between a shrinking economy and a developing economy.
These developing economies are also giving rise to an emerging group of global challengers that are winning customers away from more established companies.
We see increasingly a situation in many industries, even global and high-tech industries, in which Indian companies or Chinese firms or Mexican or Brazilian or even some Middle Eastern companies, right, across manufacturing, service, and infrastructure sectors are making a dent in global competition and stealing market share away from European, Japanese, or American firms.
At the rapidly developing economies, we'll see changes as they come out of this. They'll see stronger players because they capitalized on their low costs in the marketplace. And therefore, they'll see a lot more leverage and a lot more moves towards the development of multinational companies from the rapidly developing economies of places like China and India, Russia, and Brazil as we come out of recession. The challengers will now have the opportunity to make asset investments at much lower costs. 2 years ago, if they were going to buy some of their Western competitors or buy Western assets, they would pay very high prices. Right now, those assets are available at relatively low prices given the change in the economy. There's a real advantage for the challengers in this current recession. The challengers are in control of many of the assets that are the lowest cost assets on the planet.
All recessions end eventually, but different countries will likely recover at different times.
I would, definitely bet my money that China and the U.S. are going to be the first to come out. European economies probably last. The United States will be among the first to come out because it has by far the most flexible labor market in the world. And I think the key to the recovery will be how fast economies around the world reallocate workers from declining industries, those that don't have that much of a feature, at least in the next 5 to 10 years, to other activities that will probably grow, either because the economy recovers in general or because of the stimulus, fiscal stimulus that governments are implementing.
But even in the midst of a downturn, there are opportunities for companies to seize.
We have bailout programs all over the world now, United States, China, several of the European countries, not all of them, but several of them. And this will be a windfall for companies that manage to position themselves and to win contracts for infrastructure development, for introducing new information technologies in hospitals, for offering more efficient ways of delivering education, all of the things that are dear to governments around the world, and they're spending money on right now, additional funds, right, as part of these stimulus packages. And for companies to think that, well, since everybody's suffering, all we need to do is just scale back and wait for better times. We're seeing evidence in manufacturing, we're seeing evidence in distribution, we're seeing evidence in infrastructure that there are new opportunities and that some companies are finding a way of pursuing them profitably.
The biggest threat that multinational companies face over the next few years is complacency. That it's easy to sit back and wait for things to pass. That they'll cut some costs, they'll hunker down, but that means you're going to miss tremendous opportunities. And if you don't capture those opportunities, your competitors will. So it's critical that companies understand the opportunities that are in front of them, whether it's new markets in the rapidly developing economies, whether it's taking the time to develop new products that better meet consumer needs, to prepare to win in the upswing.